Minnesota Original is made possible by the State Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota.
On this edition of Minnesota Original, Peter Rothstein directs the Children's Theater Company's production of Annie. Known for his screen prints of pinups, cycling, and cityscapes, illustrator and printmaker Adam Turman adds a lake series to his body of work. Upright bass, lap steel guitar, and vibraphone make up the unique instrumentation of the Neighborhood Trio. These artists and more now on Minnesota Original.
Children's Theater is a very unique place, and it is celebrating 45 years this year. And I think it has been a major force, not only in the Twin Cities, but nationally.
Betcha they're good, why shouldn't they be? Their one mistake was giving up me.
I'm Megan Fisher, and I'm playing Annie. And I have performed at the History Theater, the Ordway, and Lyric Arts in Anoka. And it's just what I love to do.
The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun.
To be able to do the first production of Annie at the Children's Theater was exciting. And I think it's a perfect story for right now. It's about a country in crisis and the need for optimism and hope. And in 1933, this affluent white man decided to adopt this poor girl from the Lower East Side. And that was a pretty revolutionary act in 1933. And we are still, 80 years later, redefining family in this country. And this musical is about a redefinition of family. There will be about 80 performances, up to 10 a week, and that's a lot of performances for an adult actor, and Annie is on stage almost the entire musical, so just for vocal health, in my opinion, it would be irresponsible to ask a child to play that role 10 times a week. So when we set out to cast it, I immediately said, I think we have to share this role, and cast 2 different Annies.
I'm Shawnee Elliott. I will be playing Pepper and understudying Annie. I always said if I didn't get Annie, I'd like to play Pepper because she's mean and she hates everyone. But Annie, it's just like there's such opposite roles, and it's really cool to play both of them.
It's a hard knock life for us, so when it's treated, we get tricked.
When I'm doing a musical, it starts with the voice. Often people will cast the actor ahead of the singer, but if a character sings, the actress has to be able to embody that character, which means the Annie has to be able to sing this role, which is really demanding. And so it just started with the voice.
No one's there when your dreams at night get creepy. No one cares if you grow or if you shrink. No one dries when your eyes get red and weepy. From the crying you would think this place would sing.
When I heard about this role, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna audition. This is my dream role. This is amazing, and I just knew this is what I wanted to do. There was about 500 kids who auditioned, and I had to sing Tomorrow a million times.
15, 16, 17, 18,
how many?
19, 20, 21, 22,
25.
24, 25.
Good. 5 push-ups, go.
My name is Michael Matthew Farrell, and I am the choreographer for Annie. I create all the dances, but I also work really side by side with Peter Rothstein, the director. And we've really figured out how to take both of our gifts and put them together.
Because naturally you would probably want to stand like that, but she's just like this. Oh boy. Yeah. Everyone says you're really important. Yeah?
When he gives us notes, it's fun though. Yeah, it helps you be a better actor. That's what. Because once you get it right, it makes you feel great. Yeah.
No one cares for you a smidge when you're in an orphanage. Yeah, you know what? So if a couple other of you guys wanted to do your arms up, when you're in an orphanage.
I think you have to take into consideration the story. So my job is to create this number with kids that technically doesn't look like they're proficient dancers. But yet, I obviously want them to look like they're together. It's kind of that organized chaos.
It's a hard knock life for us. Instead of treated, we get tricked. Instead of kisses, we get kicked. It's a hard knock life.
Megan's voice is incredible. She has an incredible gift. Shawnee brings to the role a little bit more, maybe the rough and tumble Annie. Shawnee has a little bit more tomboy in her.
Full of sorrow life. No tomorrow life. Santa Claus we never see. Santa Claus, what's that? Who's he? No one cares for you a smidge when you're in an orphanage. It's a hard knock life.
But Shawnee she has a lower speaking voice, a lower singing voice, and so we are doing her songs in different key signatures than we're doing Megan. So that's another piece of it, is when we record with full orchestra, we'll have to record the show in 2 sets of different keys.
We'll start with the figures on the iron ore shipments to Lido. To what are we supposed to do with this child?
It is her first night here, sir.
It is. Oh, well. Annie, your first night here. I suppose we ought to do something special for you.
Oh, boy!
Why don't you sit down?
While you want to treat each artist as an individual and allow them to bring their instincts to the role, and Shawnee's performance will be quite different from Megan's. They're very different people, but they both have really wonderful qualities that are attributes of Annie.
Your first night here. I suppose we ought to do something special for you.
Oh, boy!
Why don't you sit down?
I think it actually is terrific for the two of them. I don't think there's a sense of competition. I think there's actually great camaraderie. And it allows Megan, who's an incredibly talented but a young actor, to step outside and watch and see the scene happening, which is a luxury that usually an actor doesn't get to do. They don't get to step outside and observe. We've honored that the musical is set in 1933, so the clothes are period clothing, and some vintage pieces as well as some that we've obviously built and designed. With the kids, what Rich Hampson, the costume designer, and I decided to do was to dress the kids in adult clothes. Like people have dropped off boxes of old clothes as a donation to the orphanage, and these kids have gone through these boxes and assembled their own wardrobe. What I think that does is it illuminates the fact that these kids have been robbed of their childhood.
But brother, you're never fully dressed without a smile. Your clothes are evil, probably. They stand at a mile. But brother, you're never fully dressed without a smile. So senator, so janitor, so long for a while. Remember, you're never fully dressed without a smile.
I love it. We're at tech rehearsal, and this is our first time running through the whole show. Got all my lines memorized, and I'm ready to get on stage now.
Okay, folks, here we go.
Pipe down, all of you. Go back to sleep, won't you?
I'm gonna have you guys enter a little bit later. You're coming out right at the top of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? I'm gonna have you wait until the row of tomorrow. We rehearse for what we call technical rehearsals for a week, and then we have a few previews, and then we open. So really a month from beginning to end between that first music rehearsal and opening night. So it's an intense month.
Why any kid would want to be an orphan, I'll never know.
It's a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock life for us. Instead of treated, we get tricked. Instead of kisses, we get kicked. It's a hard knock life. Got no books to speak of, so it's a hard knock row. We hope cold blankets. Stay up, full empty bellies. Stay up, it's a hard knock life.
When you work in a play, it's a whole group of people who are radically different, and they come together to make something magnificent, to make a thing of beauty. And that sense of collaboration, of teamwork, of going after something bigger than all of you together is the way we should all live our lives. And I think the theater excites them about that possibility, gives them the satisfaction of that, and they will open this play on time, on opening night, and they'll have made something beautiful. So that satisfaction, I also think, inspires them to other successes.
The sun'll come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun.
Smart kid.
Just thinking about tomorrow clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none.
When I'm stuck with a day.
The beautiful thing and most challenging thing about being an actor is you are your instrument. To see a child kind of own that and be willing to take those risks, to make themselves vulnerable, and to put themselves out there, in my opinion, is a heroic and courageous act. So there's a lot of pride that comes then from watching that manifest itself.
I've been drawing for a really long time, and it's something that I've always liked to do. Even in school, it was something that I saw the other kids wondering what they wanted to do and trying to figure it out, and I always just sort of knew what I wanted to do, which was basically be an illustrator. I think I'm known for a style and subject matter too. Just things that are distinctly Minnesota. Cityscapes, cycling, pinups, food, beer, grain belt, gold medal flower, Pillsbury. Those three are very iconic. They're just a really great set that goes together. So I think originally, when I was first kind of starting in this business, I was known for those three. So in 2003, I met up with a collective who was doing a lot of work for First Avenue and the Triple Rock. So I started doing more and more flyers and ultimately gig posters for bands. The bands started seeing and recognizing my style, and work sort of just came about that way. I really like to say yes to as many people as I possibly can. And one thing that I really liked about gig posters was that it's a great little design job. They're fun and they get a lot of attention really quickly. I do work basically about things that I really like. And I started doing a lot of pinup kind of artwork. And I got to be more well known for doing the pinup stuff. A lot of bands were contacting me to do pinup style work for them. And I've also been into cycling a lot, and I started doing more cycling related pieces. This is a piece I did called Cycle Minneapolis, and it was originally done for a bike art show called Art Crank. I want the pinup stuff to be part of a lot of the other stuff that I do, so I end up kind of using both both ideas and quite a few things that I do. So I started doing more and more pieces that related back to the bicycle. Cycling is one of those things that I've always loved. I love the form and the aesthetic of a bicycle. I just think they're absolutely gorgeous machines. Plus they're extremely utilitarian. And one thing led to another, and I started doing more cityscape related items. Those became kind of popular, and so therefore I felt like maybe I should do more of them. I'm working on a sketch of Lake Harriet for my lake series. I'm referencing Lake Harriet at the end of winter, so there's still ice on the lake, and I want it to look more like a summer piece. So I'm going to be putting in sailboats and leaves on the trees to make it look more summery. When I'm sketching something, I'm really just, I'm sketching in where things are going to be. So that's just a reference point for me for when I'm actually doing my final inks. When I go in and I do my final inks, I'm usually going over my sketch and I'm actually simplifying the lines that are in the sketch to be a little bit more bold and graphic. So there is a lot of hand-done qualities in there. I think you can really feel the human aspect coming out of the work. I like to use the computer as well, but I like to use it more as a tool to enhance the work, not to create the work. We're gonna print my lake series that I'm working on. We're gonna do the final color of Lake Calhoun, and my boy Brian Giel, he's gonna help me out, and we're gonna do some printing. So let's get started. On this particular one, we're doing 3 screens, and we're actually doing the key line, which is the very last screen for this print. Key line, otherwise known as outline. Everybody's screen printing process is different, and mine is DIY. I had someone who I was working with a while back, and he said, you know, being a screen printer, you wear a lot of different hats. You're a chemist, you are an engineer, you know, you're an artist, and the list can go on, and that's fantastic. I love, that's part of it I just absolutely love about screen printing. I guess we'll just see where the next step takes me. I'm not quite sure yet. It's one of those things where I tend to draw things that I like, and whatever I end up liking next, that may be the next thing. I don't know.
We are the Neighborhood Trio. I'm Steve Rome, and I play the vibraphone.
I'm Dan Schwartz, and I play the steel guitar.
I'm Brian Rustler, and I play the double bass.
To me, it's kind of pop music with some elements of jazz in it, but kind of with a groove and kind of bluesy edge. started playing the vibraphone in the original lineup of Your Neighborhood Trio, playing jazz. And then over the years, it kind of morphed into what it is now. In the meantime, I played and toured with Matt Wilson, who is an accomplished singer-songwriter in town, and now I'm in a group with him again called the Twilight Hours. I'm also in play with Chan Poling and John Munson in the New Standards. So those two groups keep me very busy, and this is kind of almost like a side project, but now it's got more relevance to me because we're getting to play our music, and I just love to play.
Most of what I do is I play a really classic role of a bass player in this band. I play mostly really simple parts, simple bass lines, low register of the instrument, and I just kind of hold together the rhythm and the harmony of the structure.
This is a steel guitar. It's a Hawaiian hollow neck guitar is kind of the official name. This is it's called a steel bar. That's really where the name of the guitar, the family, comes from, because you play it with a steel. Unlike a slide, which would be worn on your finger, played with on a regular guitar. So I did start playing guitar. That's what I studied in college. I'm a singer as well, but a lot of the stuff that I'm writing now and that Steve is writing is instrumental, and I think this fulfills that for me. It can be very lyrical and voice-like instrument that I can get some of the same things that I would normally sing out of the instrument.
I'm more the rock guy, I'm the drum set guy. But if you made me choose, I would have to choose the vibes. I think of vibraphone, not so much in this group, but in the group The New Standards, as icing on the cake. And you don't want icing on everything. So a lot of what I do is just music common sense, not playing all the time. Having the discipline to play one thing and not being, embarrassed about, I could be playing, all these notes, but that might not be appropriate for the song. It is kind of, once you start playing longer notes or more notes, it gets really complicated and it doesn't fit into a group as well.
Minnesota Original is made possible by the State Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota.